August 4th, 2016, we got Edward Bissette here, the former neighbor up around Giddens Street and Fayetteville Street years ago, Brother Lynn. And we're going to do a little, tell you what it was like living in the 50s in Clinton, North Carolina. So Lynn, you start us off and tell us what the 50s were like.
For me and our family, and I think for Edward and his family, I thought being raised on Giddens Street, where we were, was an ideal life for me and my parents and my brother and sister. I thoroughly enjoyed my school, my grammar school and my high school. I loved all our neighbors, including Edward, who is present, and learned a lot from him, from the magazines and his experimentation with the younger neighbors in the area. And so my life, and I think that of our family, respective families, was idyllic for me, and I only have great memories of being raised in that era.
Kind of remind me of Happy Days on TV. There are problems all around us, but
don't you often wish that we could turn it around and start it again? And live the same way.
I wish all my children, everybody could be raised like that.
See, my grandsons and your children have no idea.
That's right.
The way we lived and the society we lived in. The way we did
creativity.
TV wasn't big then.
I don't think we had one until way on up.
We had one.
You couldn't see
Hurricane Hazel came, 54.
Yeah.
But you got about two channels.
If you could see even a figure, you thought you were seeing some good television.
But talk about some of the neighbors that participated.
Tell them where you guys lived and all versus compared to one another.
I lived on Fayetteville St.
Right.
That's where the PNC Bank is today.
That's right.
And Dale lived back on Giddens, facing my street on Giddens, the side of our house, and the yard ran down beside on Giddens Street.
We could look at Edward's kitchen.
Yeah.
The house he lived in is now owned by the county.
It's turned around and put on Giddens Street.
Right.
And the county had it as a kind of a drug rehab thing, and it's gone down a lot. I would love to be able to get it back, but Mother wanted me to do that. She didn't want to move, so I had the house moved, fixed up, and she lived there until she died. And so after that,
Your mother was Miss Martha.
Yeah.
Daddy was Edward Washington.
Yeah, he did.
I see him coming out of the steps right now with a white shirt on.
Yeah, always wore the white shirt.
And he roll up the sleeves occasionally.
Roll up sleeves, and but I came along. Now you were born later, of course.
I was 43.
In 43. I was born October 16th, 39, just as we were turning the year over. So through that age there, I remember World War II, a great deal of it, because a lot of Daddy's brothers were in the war. And it just spoke, I can see things and understand what was going on to a degree. And of course we played a lot of war stories when we were on up a little bit. But I can remember things that I had no idea.
Do you remember any tanks coming down Fayetteville?
Yes,
I do.
and they messed up the asphalt.
Sure did.
They were on the way to Morehead City to load them on ships to go. And we had one great gift, and the modern children had it also, but we focused a different way. We had the magic of imagination.
Absolutely.
And do you remember when now this is the man that had all the scientific instruments, and all of our scientific instruments came from radio shop.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh yeah.
And we built all these imaginary things, and to us it was real.
Oh yeah.
It just sparked that imagination. What we didn't have in toys, and we didn't have a lot of toys.
No, we were poor people, but we just didn't know.
We just didn't know.
But Edward, we made good gunpowder.
We made a lot of good gunpowder.
And I think the formula was sulfuric acid, sulfur,
saltpeter,
and charcoal.
and charcoal.
That's where you went up to Matthew's drugstore, Jimmy Daddy.
Yeah.
And told the lady wanted some saltpeter. She looked at it and said, what?
We did a lot, some things I can remember, some things I can't. I'm kind of like Ronald Reagan was, you know, I don't recall that. If it doesn't play right.
What's the first memories y'all had of Mr. Bissette? Y'all remember the first
We
memories?
played a lot together.
Yeah.
We can't
That's before I
really
got to
say.
sports, I was probably 9 to 13 or 14. That was
Oh, yeah.
imagination.
We went to the show a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday afternoons, well, how much was it, 12 cents?
12 cents and a
5
nickel
cents.
for a drink.
Sitting there with Dick Faircloth.
Dick Faircloth was on the front row.
That's right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And he enjoyed the movie more than anybody
Absolutely.
in town, even with his limited ability.
Yeah.
And we'd spend all Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. You
And
had a haircut.
we could walk to the theater.
Oh, yeah.
In these days, I wouldn't want my grandson especially walking, you know, wherever.
You talking about to the what is now the
The
theater?
old Clinton
The
Theater.
old one, yeah.
You could go to Clinton and walk to the Clinton Theater and the old Austin
And
Theater.
they all, do you remember the gym?
Yeah. One where.
It's where the glamour shop.
Lamb shop now.
Yeah, I went to the show there. Of course, Mother owned that building, and we rented it to Henry Van.
Mhm.
And going a little bit further in, do you remember Carbine Williams
Oh, yeah.
and the gun and
Oh,
the
yeah.
movie?
Yeah.
And do you remember that one I made?
Yeah, I sure do. I was hoping you had it with you.
I don't know where it is.
Really?
I have no idea where that
You
is.
showed it to me years ago.
Yeah, and it was.
Did you make a carbine
Yeah.
or a carbine?
Well, it
It was
was.
a small
It was
version.
mostly wood.
Yeah.
And we cut that thing out and fitted it up. And did you meet Carbine Williams?
He came out of grammar school, and I remember
Yeah, well,
that.
we met him at the Ford place, you know, Henry Van.
Yeah.
You know where Henry Van's
Yeah.
Ford place was. And a bunch of us downtown. And he was a little short guy, stocky,
Yeah.
and he had the real thing. He brought that. He was on.
Uh-huh.
He was on tour with the James Stewart movie. You know, Carbine Williams. And I was so impressed with that gun. And I said, I've just got to try to make something like that.
He came to our school, and he is actually came to George with.
Is he?
Yeah, he lives in Godwin.
Oh.
Did live in Godwin.
Yeah, yeah.
And he, for your edification, Mr. Cameraman, he actually got a patent on the carbine.
Yeah, he built it while he was in
Yeah,
prison. He was in
His
prison camp.
bootlegger,
Yeah,
still cop, got in prison and let him out after.
he was in prison in Fayetteville, wasn't he?
I don't
In that-
remember.
He was in that.
He was
on the
convicted
road.
in Fayetteville, but
Yeah.
I don't know where he was in.
Edward made a model of it.
Yeah, about like that.
Yeah.
But Dale made a model of one too.
Did it?
Yep. And I made one of a Thompson submachine gun.
Oh,
But in that same time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
When was that?
Well, Carbine Williams came to the grammar school when I was in the first grade. So that was 1947.
So I was where?
You'd have been two
How
years
much
old.
older am I
Two.
than you are? 3 years?
Two.
Is
I'm
that-
41, you're 39, right? 1930.
That's a wishful. I was born 39.
Born.
So how older would that make me be? I've got something.
You're 77.
I've got something after a while I'm gonna show
Yeah.
you that you won't believe.
I turned 75 July 29th.
I'm 76.
Okay.
It doesn't take long. It seems like 20 minutes ago we were 18 years old.
Absolutely.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm glad we're doing this.
Once your grandchildren still.
Grandchildren will see it. And to maybe draw something from it. I hope they will. And,
One of the big memories I have of you
okay.
as the con artist across
Oh, I
the
know
street
what's coming. I know exactly.
was your circus.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't remember how much you charged Dale and
3
myself.
cents.
I never got much money out of either one of you. Just to be pretty
That was
honest.
big money back then.
Yeah, that was big money.
Anyway, you made us pay
Yeah.
to come see it.
All the wonders of the world.
That's right. 3 wonders of the world.
3 wonders of the world.
Come see something.
Well,
Something you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Had it on a white sheet of paper and put some grass up there. You've never seen that before.
what was the other 3? I don't remember.
A hairless
Had a
dog.
dog, and Kenny Thundercut was going to jump off a high.
Did we ever get Kenneth to jump?
Yeah, he jumped in.
No. He was up on top of the ladder. with a towel around him like he was going to jump off. And then he pulls out from under his shirt a teddy bear and throws it in the pot of water he had down at the bottom.
That
Okay,
was a circus he had.
okay. Yeah. Let's see, that was, when, 1947?
I don't remember.
Now,
It was
we
after
played a
that,
lot of-
but Carbine Williams came when I was in the first grade, so that was 1947.
You know, before that, we remember the war, or the end of it.
Yeah.
And we used to play a lot of, we'd make these Japanese symbol things and guns, and we dig holes and fight off
Oh,
the Japanese.
Yeah,
You remember that?
absolutely. And during the Cold War, I remember you could planes going to be coming to rush it in. We need to get, you got a box.
We need to get ready.
That's right.
We need to get ready.
They had a box out there, we all got in it. And then Lynn and I dug not a tunnel.
It was a trench, basically. It was a tunnel.
Yeah.
We used to dig right many holes and
Yeah.
put tops on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sonny Faison, do you remember Sonny?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that elaborate system he built over there behind Miss Nails, his mother? That's where I got inspired, because I'm in the kindergarten over there.
Yeah, I do too.
And he built these really deep, elaborate things, and put tin over and then put the dirt. And
That's what we did.
Yeah, we did that.
And
Down
we
on the
ran,
lot near Kenny's house.
Yeah.
cords out to the tunnel, so we had electric lights in the tunnel.
Yeah.
From the storage
Lynn
room.
tried to dig China one day. He was going to dig down.
I was going down to
Yeah.
China.
And he took the shovel and hit it right in the head.
Do you remember, now let me see if you remember this. This popped in my head the other day. You know, out at the farm here,
Yeah.
we got to talk about treasure hunting.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And I said, I think there's a treasure out there.
Yeah.
And let's go out there and dig that thing up. And so we went out with Daddy, and he had things to do.
Yeah.
And so we went down through the edge of the woods, and I bet you we dug a hole deep enough to stand in. But we never found any treasure. But it was fun. Why? The imagination was just sparking.
I went with Ron Hall out there years later.
You did?
And he did. He thought, I don't know where he got it from.
Yeah. I can tell you where it came from. If you, you know, but way back, right after the Civil War, the drawings, they call them drawings because they had a little money. They had a 3-story house in that field, and he would leave the house every Sunday and walk down the edge of the field, go all the way down the woods, and then walk this way and walk back. And everybody thought, they tried, you know, kept up with him, his wife did, and she thought he was bearing money. And what he was doing is he'd go down that way, and he had a bottle of liquor. And so he'd go down there every Sunday, well, she was a real teetotaler, and drink about a half a bottle of liquor on Sunday. And everybody thought he was going down there and bear some money.
Are you
So
talking about out there where your family's land was in
Yeah.
deep water or wherever you go?
No, big water.
Big water.
Drawing big water. So that was where that came from.
We formed an Army club.
Yeah.
Kenneth Honeycutt, Edward, Lynn, and me. And C.G. Simpson moved over there where the PNC Bank is right now. I believe.
Yeah, on that other
And
end.
C.G. wanted to join our club. And we said, well, you got to go through initiation. You remember that?
I don't remember that. Go ahead.
They would have put us in juvenile court for what's coming next.
We made him crawl with infiltration course. And we stood back there, all 4 of us had BB guns shooting.
He wore a leather jacket,
Thank goodness he did.
but he was crawling in Mr. Reeves' yard. That's where it was. And they would have put us in juvenile court for sure today. It was a danger to another human being like we did.
I'm just glad we did not discover. And it was available then, we just didn't know what it was. Ammonium nitrate.
Oh, God.
We'd have probably either blown up Clemens or killed ourselves. But it was available as far as it's available now. You have to sign for it. But we went with the saltpeter route
That's right.
Right?
and sulfur
And charcoal.
That was it, and had fun.
Oh, yeah.
Had
Do you
fun.
remember us coming over to your yard?
Yeah.
And we had stuffed the homemade gunpowder in a toilet bowl
Yeah.
and put a cap on it.
Yeah.
And I think you had a transformer from an electric train set.
Yeah.
And we ran the wire, we set the rocket up out near the old grapevine.
Oh,
out
where the
there.
grapevine was, yeah.
And ran the cords to the bottom of the rocket so we could be away from it when it went off. And we turned it on and it went straight up and then went across Giddens Street into Mr. Reed's front yard and burned part of his yard. He happened to be out there at the time.
I remember Langdon and what was his wife's
Ethel.
name?
Ethel.
Ethel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can picture them.
Yes.
Like them.
We were sitting in the den in our backyard, in the back of our house. Saturday night, and all of a sudden my mother looked at me, what is that? And she saw us big flame, we ran out there. We did. I was there on rocket, it was just going down there and it caught on fire.
Yeah.
Here's something I bet you don't remember, but I remember. We'd like to get one up on each other once in a while. You and Kenny Honeycutt, now this is gonna come back to you. You heated up a stone somehow, I don't know how you heated it hot. You dug a hole and you put it in the hole on your backyard. And you came running over at the house. You said, Edward, come on, there's a meteor has fallen. And do you remember that? You should remember that.
I didn't remember that one, but
But
it's a good
I
story.
remember it because I went over there and I looked at that thing and I said, what do they think I am? And it was laying in the hole. He says, real hot, don't pick it up. I touched it, it was warm. I think he just left it in the sun. But you all were really pushing that thing to fool me into thinking that a meteor had landed in your backyard. But I can see it, I can remember that.
You did the gunpowder. You made hand grenades. We tried to explode them.
Yeah.
And we were under your pecan tree right there. You came out to a back door, there's a pecan tree right there.
Right in the backyard.
You were stirring it for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
You had it in a pot stirring it.
Uh-huh.
And it white head burned leaves off the tree.
Oh, my
Yeah, I
God.
remember that. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, fire was a big thing right there.
It was a great entertainment.
We're burning the field.
Yeah,
Billy King's out there.
yeah, and we remember Billy. I
Yeah.
don't think we played ball out in his backyard. You know, he had that big place. And we used to play baseball back there.
Somebody hit one baseball and went through the window
It
there.
was me. Jamie Hubbard,
Jamie Hubbard.
and he was a fierce, we were scared of him. And he was very fierce. I was reluctant to go over there. But I went over there and I told him what I'd done. I got Bubba to go with me. So I wouldn't,
Yeah.
and I was the one that hit it. And Van Alston was playing that day. And somebody hit the ball and hit Van in the head. And he had to go home. It hurt him, but of course it wasn't a permanent thing. But when I hit that ball just went right straight forward and hit the bottom of the glass. Of course, broke it. And Jamie came out. You know, he had a steam engine back in there to grind corn. And he's the one that had the train. And he wouldn't let any of the poor kids ride on it out here in Johnsontown back toward Cabbage Road. He had a miniature train he could ride round and around. He'd go out there and put on his outfit. And all the poor children would just stand around. Jamie Hook. And they'd watch him and just wish that he would stop and let them ride, but he never would. And we never forgot. Never forgot that.
Just made the statement. Gunpowder played a big role.
It was a big role. And I just tell you, Dale, I'm glad we hadn't discovered ammonium nitrate. Throughout that seriously. We'd probably been just getting out of the big house up here in Raleigh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had a dog named Snow.
Snows. Cat named Tom, a duck, had a duck that used to fly over to Miss Cora's and eat her chicken feed. And he'd fly over the fence. And I had a rooster. Walked around the yard and I got him for Easter. A little tiny thing, and he got to be about like that. And people that picked up the trash come by the house and they said, Ed, where's that rooster? Cause he flying, he had those spurs, you know. I said, I tell him, I said, I put him up, he's in the house. And I said, y'all gonna come on in, and get the trash cans. And when he get in there, I locked the door and the rooster was in the garage. And I turned him loose and he'd come flying out of there and go all over them. You know, and they jumped the fence, couldn't get out. So I locked the gate, there's a gate there. And they got where they wouldn't come unless somebody came with them and they called Miss Moffat. Said, we're not coming in until Miss Moffat comes out and make sure everything's okay so we can get the trash.
Assault by a rooster.
Assault by a rooster. It was a huge thing, and he wouldn't hurt me. I grabbed him right up, walked around the yard with him. When anybody else came in there, I reckon he thought I was his mother or something, his daddy, because I got him as a Easter. Easter baby. You know, used to have those in the dime store.
And they tore that house down, that's where. Is that cool? Didn't he build at Phillips 66 State?
Yeah, he built Phillips 66 there. And the Kings moved over on Paris.
Yeah.
Over near the gym, you know, like over there.
And they were tearing it down. It was almost flat to the ground. But it was an old desk that scratched real bad.
Yeah.
I opened the drawer and there was a bag of coins.
I remember that bag of coins.
I sold them years ago.
I remember when you found it. It was in a kind of a real old
Bag.
whitish, grayish bag.
That's exactly right.
And they were, what kind of coins were they?
I got Roman piece. Something like that.
I wonder where they came from.
I have no idea.
What house you talking about?
It was on the corner
Billy King's house.
where the, what's the, First Citizens Bank was down
It was
there.
right there in the parking lot. They were tearing the house down. And I found a big old, probably 15, 20 coins in it. Roman pieces.
All kinds of, very valuable now, I would
Oh,
imagine. I would
good.
imagine.
I have to tell you this deep, dark story that Billy King used to have a little side in his house on the side of a hobby road.
Yeah, he built planes.
Planes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But to get there, you had to go, we would go in the back door and down a hallway and turn left into the master bedroom on the left and then go into the hobby room. So I'm 10 or 12 years old and I'm by myself and I'm going down the hallway to try to find Billy. And I opened the master bedroom door and there's Miss King buck naked standing beside the heater with the water being heated so she could wash it. But she's no longer with us.
What was your maid's name?
Flossie or
Flossie.
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 That's right.
And Sally was the one that looked after me, carried his show. And she later on worked at the grammar school in the lunchroom. Sally.
Is that
Her
right?
last name was, you might remember, Sally. But she carried me to the show. And this was, we lived in a time that's so much different than now. I mean, we were in a segregated society.
Right.
And I do remember that. But the tragedy of that was that we accepted it.
That's right.
And we didn't know anything else.
That's right. You're totally innocent about it.
Totally innocent, no, you're right. And, you know, the black kids used to come up and play ball with us. Come up
Dr.
from
Lewis's
down-
son was one.
Yeah, he used to come up from, what was it, William Street?
Yeah.
And come up there.
Trade. What were the little comic books?
We traded comic books, which was a huge part of our life.
Oh, yeah.
But you got us started on reading the science books. You
Yeah.
would go up to the newsstand, I can't remember the name.
Popular Mechanics.
Popular Mechanics and
Popular
those.
Mechanics,
You
Popular
started
Science.
Dale and I on those.
Yeah.
And I thank you for that because they were very instrumental.
That made a difference in my life,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And
Boys'
same.
Life and those.
Yeah,
Popular
and
Mechanics.
Popular Mechanics, Popular Science.
Yes,
You made a
that.
little boat. You remember it? It was just a board.
Yeah.
And it had a candle
Yeah,
on
yeah.
top of it. And it
Yeah.
had a bottle of water.
And we had our little tube.
Right, and the tube ran out and
Yeah.
I've forgotten about
steam
it.
out.
I do
Do you remember that?
I remember it now.
I'm glad you brought that up because that was a breakthrough.
Oh, absolutely.
And we all worked on that thing kind of together.
Yeah.
And we lit it, put it in a big tub of water. And that thing would chug right around.
Yeah.
You know, it was operating on the water boiling and shooting out the tube. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. I'd forgotten that. And Larry Powers was the one that operated the news.
That's right. I forgot his
Larry
name.
And he used to have a program on the radio,
I know it.
News and Nonsense. You remember that?
Yep,
And the Brinkleys took over
right.
after he died.
And one of the most interesting things, I think, was little annex we played. You had some equivalent of cherry bombs.
Yeah.
You put them out in the street on Fayetteville Street. Buses come out and boom!
Boom.
Well,
We'd be locked up for that now.
oh, really?
We'd be domestic terrorists.
That's
Yes, yes.
And another thing, I remember sitting on your front porch and we had a wallet down on the sidewalk and we had a string
Yeah.
up to your porch and we covered the string with little dirt. Somebody reached down and hit the bottom of it and you pulled it out.
I was down at the store, and you know you run out of things to do sometimes. And so I said, I'm gonna have some fun this afternoon. So I went and got some epoxy like glue, took a silver gauze and put the epoxy on it, and went out on the street and put the thing down on there and put a newspaper on top till it hardened. And then I went back in the store and sat down, and Spencer Mathis was over there, and he was having a fit for somebody to come along. Well, this nose fella came along, and we had pulled the paper off of it really hard. And he looked down at me, and he looked around. And we were sitting in the room, we didn't see it. And he took his foot and kind of hit it like that. And that thing was down on the ground. I mean, it was stuck. And when we took it up with a chisel.
Yeah.
But anyway, he looked at that thing and tried to get it up like that. He kind of said a few words and went on. And about 15 minutes later, there was a bunch of us sitting in that den. Harold Adler was next door, and then there was Spencer, several others. And they said, look who's coming up the street. You know who Kay Wick?
Oh, yeah.
You remember her mother?
Oh, yeah. Follow through.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Anyway, Miss Whitney, you know, she's hot-tempered. And she came on and she saw it down there and reached down to pick it up. And she couldn't get it up. Took her foot in it like that. I made one mistake, tapped on the window. She came in there and blew me out. I've never heard something cussing out that I got.
The other thing,
And then so we took it up and
Yeah.
carried it down.
the other thing is hubcap.
Hubcap, yeah.
I mean, these kids don't even know what hubcap is.
No, you have
Well, the great hubcap episode with Dale and myself were that we were on the opposite side of Billy King's house, not on Giddens Street, on the other side.
over there, yeah.
And you either had an old hubcap or a tin can, one or the other, and a car would go by and you'd run out and throw it behind it and yell out hubcap.
Hubcap.
And on this occasion, the man driving the car stopped abruptly,
Mhm.
got out and saw Dale and myself, and he came after us. And we ran around Billy King's house, and he had a big old bush on this side of the house. And Dale and I hid underneath the bush, and we could see his feet as he was walking around looking for us.
And you were sweating blood.
And we were sweating mightily. So we escaped that one, but
The other thing was rubber guns.
yeah.
Yes,
That's a,
yes, we all had
and of
that.
course they had inner tubes in. And,
Yeah, and it was a fascination.
You made a
I made
machine
one.
gun.
Somebody taught me how to do that. And we made a machine gun, what
Yeah.
we would call a machine gun.
String down the top, notches.
Notches, and then you string your rubber band with
The
it.
prize rubber was the red rubber.
That's right.
Yeah,
Red rubber.
yeah, that,
Chris Casey
yeah.
had one. It was red rubber. I remember that. I was over
About
there.
that long, wasn't it? Very long.
Yeah, yeah. But I was running and he shot at me. And it went right by my head and hit their window and broke the window
I
out.
mean, that thing was a powerful thing.
Oh, yeah.
That was a powerful gun, but I'd forgotten about those. But that was we made things and we built things in the radio shack. We'd all have to go to the radio, in the back of the radio shack, and see what we could find. And so we made our own entertainment.
That's right.
And what you don't do, what the kids do now, but and you take my grandsons, they've got an iPad, they've got a computer, and TV, big TVs, you know, these big flat screen things are relatively cheap now. And they live in a different world than we live in. But I've got one, my oldest one's 13, he goes to state college during the summer months and takes courses.
Think about the other thing is pea shooters.
Pea shooters. And blowing them out of the tube at the picture show.
Yeah.
I remember Albert Thornton. You remember Albert?
Oh, yeah.
And you know, we were segregated, and then the African Americans sat upstairs, and we sat downstairs. And we would throw cups up there, or either shoot the pea shooters all over everything. Once in a while I'd get thrown out, several others would get thrown out. And one day Albert Thornton was sitting next to us, hitting us on the head. You know, Albert was kind of, he had a little bit of streak in him too. And he was tapping us on the head. So we decided to, we'll fix you. So we started throwing stuff upstairs. And somebody was sick up there. And I could see this just exactly when it happened. The guy that was sick hung his head over the rail and turned it all loose. And every bit of it fell down on Albert Thornton. And I said, there is a God.
Revenge.
I remember it, and of course he was just covered up, and we were laughing. Everybody in the show was laughing, and we got him back for. He'd sit back there and throw stuff at us and get us over the head. You know, he was ahead of us, and get older, tend to bully the younger. And I can remember that, and I would never forget it because Albert. We didn't like Albert that much because he was older and. He picked on us a lot.
The only time I've ever been disciplined in the education system was in the 6th grade, and I don't know why I had him. I had a pea shooter.
Yeah.
And Ms. Alexander was the teacher.
I remember her.
And for some reason, somebody ratted on me, and I don't know how it came about, but anyway, I had to go see Miss Gussie Parker.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the principal of the
You
school.
had fear in your heart.
No, I did.
Yeah.
But that's the only time I got disciplined, but it was with a pea shooter.
I did it in the 2nd grade. My birthday came in October. School started in September. So back in those days, you could kind of work things around. So they said, if you'll go to Miss Louise Miss
Hubbard.
Hubbard. Yeah. No. Faison. What was his mother's name? Nell. Miss Nell's kindergarten, and learn to read and do stuff, and spend the rest of the year. We'll put you in the 2nd grade. So that's what they did. I went from Miss Nell's to the 2nd grade.
Okay. I did not
And
know
you know, when you're in kindergarten, you're not disciplined, really. And so I got in a lot of trouble with Miss Hubbard, Miss Louise Hubbard. And one day I used to sit in the cloakroom a lot. And one day we were all sitting out there, and Hal was doing something. Hal Day, remember Hal?
Oh, yeah.
And she got mad and put him in the cloakroom. It was painted green in there. And there was you look in there, everything, see what was in there. And spend some time. I mean, she wouldn't put you in there 15 minutes. You'd be in there for an hour, hour and a half, or 2 hours, even more. And she put Hal Dale in there, and she said, "Now I want everybody to work on this workbook, and I'll be back in just a few minutes." So she went evidently to get a cup of coffee. And I got to thinking, I said, I bet I can pull this off. So I walked I got up out of my seat and I walked back there to the cloakroom and we were looking right into where we were. And I stuck my head in there and I said, Hal, Ms. Louise, I looked and said, it'd be all right if you'd come out now. And so he came out and took his seat up down near the front. And I sat back there, I said, this is gonna be you don't think in your head, you know. And that's why she came in, she walked in, she got up in front of the room, she looked over there, and she said, Hal Dale, what are you doing out of that cloakroom? He said, Miss Nail, Edward Bissette said that you said it was all right to come out. Boy, she fired loose. She says, Edward Bissette, get up. And she ran me back, took hold of me and put me, says, you stay here till I come get you and don't you come out. And I sat there. I had lunch in there. You know, used to bring the lunch to the room and you go get your plate. I don't know where they did that when you were there. But anyway, somebody brought me lunch. I sat in there from about 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock and school was over. And I got blunt of the joke. And Hal was dying laughing because I was sitting in there and he didn't have to go back in the cloakroom.
Now, was it Sebring that died or Hal that died?
Well, Sebring died
Sebring.
and also Robert died. You know, the younger one.
Yeah.
And then they had a girl. I guess she's still going. But Hal was in Hawaii. He was in Judge Advocate's court. I don't know if he's probably retired. I mean, I don't know what happened to him.
Same thing that said I was the only one over there that ever got hurt. I was near that grapevine. And that's who it was. And I tried to jump on compound fracture.
Where was this? In the backyard?
Front yard.
In the front yard?
Yeah. Not the other way. Facing home.
Yeah.
And ran home and Kid Austin was there. Anyway, bone was actually sticking out. Had it.
Who said it? Dr. Ayers?
No.
Did you go? Well, there was no hospital then.
They went to Fayetteville to the hospital.
That's where we
I
were.
remember right now when they put me on there, I could see the duck's body and that nurse's head on top of it.
That ether would hallucinate.
Oh, yeah.
You can go in a hallucination.
Before we got healed up to this, and Lynn and I were playing Cowboys and Indians, I was up in the tree and he's supposed to ride under and I showed him on his back.
That's
He
true.
speeded up. And I missed him.
You
Broke
missed
the
the
other arm.
whole.
Broke the other arm.
Oh,
That explains his mental deficiencies.
is that what it is?
And you know, over there where that Civil War house is, what, across from Presbyterian Church.
The old facing house?
No, it's one on the other side of the street.
It's across the street over there where Locke's daughter lives now.
In that area.
Oh, the big one.
Yeah,
We're talking about
the big
Half Bass
yeah,
House.
Yeah. In bed.
Yeah.
Remember, it's Albert and Bobby Crummy, Rich Cajun, a whole bunch of them out there playing football.
Yeah.
Just killing each other.
Yeah.
Amazing how many kids you could get the grip.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The kids were right there.
And we played well together overall.
Yeah.
We had a
I
good time.
remember. I remember hearing that you sit up on your fence and throw rocks at the girls when you came by.
I don't remember. I declined to say anything about that. I don't recall that.
Jean King told me that. You know her?
Yeah, very well. Yeah. She has the investment
Yeah.
thing down the corner of Trent. Isn't it Trent? Trent has it.
The group that I started with in kindergarten was No Face, and we went all the way through high school.
You went to Miss Nails too?
Yes.
Yeah, that was great time.
Oh, yes.
So all y'all went to kindergarten at the old facing house, right?
Yeah, yeah, we both. Did you go?
Yeah.
You went to kindergarten too?
Where I broke my left arm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then y'all went where after that for real?
College Street Grammar School.
Okay.
I went to College Street.
Walk there.
It's still
Every day.
there, the school,
Yeah.
college, I'm glad they saved it.
Yeah.
You know, they talked about tearing it down.
Okay, yeah,
But that's where I saw Carbine Williams. So he
Yeah.
drove up in a convertible Cadillac
Uh-huh.
and had silver dollars on the butt flaps.
Really?
Yes. I was
Vividly
there.
remember that.
I did too.
Gosh.
So that would I was in the first grade in '47, so I'm pretty sure I was in the first grade. That would be about like 2
Hey, you
years
got
after.
good, yeah, first, that's
Yeah.
good memory.
Yeah.
That's really good. Really?
So y'all went, was there a middle school then, or?
They built a junior high school, and you went through the 7th grade at the old college grammar school. Well, I did. And then I went to the 8th grade at the junior high school.
In
and
Fayetteville,
Which
then
was-
high
Fayetteville
school.
Street, yeah. Sunset Avenue.
Sunset Avenue.
Oh,
then the high
that's what
school.
the junior high was.
Yeah. And they built the auditorium.
You mean that was what they call Butler Avenue, right?
Mm-mm. No, Butler is on back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're talking about the, what is now called Sunset.
There used to
Yes.
be what was it? The
The
old
old middle
burned.
Yeah, the old one burned,
The
the
old
old
one
high school
burned down.
It was right there where the
Next
Sunset
to, yeah.
school
So
headquarters.
the junior high and the high school were side by side,
Yes,
right there.
correct.
Do
Yeah.
you remember when what was his name? Had the restaurant across the street over there we used to hang out?
Dr. Kennedy.
No. No, I don't remember exactly now, but I can see it in the mind's eye. But he
Jerry
had
Lovell's daddy.
Lovell had the one down, had the grocery store downtown. And this was another guy, he's a black-headed fellow. He, I don't know his last name, but I do know his last name, but I can't recall it.
Jack Kennedy's daddy ran it.
He ran Ed Kennedy.
Ed Kennedy.
Jack's dead.
Yeah, I know.
Jack died here not too long ago.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the people that I went to high school with are gone, and a lot of people I went to college with. I got a list not long ago. I had some great friends at Gilbert, and they got a list of them, and it really brought it home to me that these guys are gone. And of course, I hadn't seen them in years. But it does things like that, just sends you right back when you were having such a great time. But, it's really amazing.
There'll be another time like that.
No, the kids now just live in a different time. It's a different environment. And I saw a movie I wish you would see. It was on Showtime. It's called Radio Story, and it was filmed. It's a modern film, but it takes place about 1943, New York City. The costuming, the way people dressed then, everything was different. Of course, and the kids were raised in Brooklyn. Of course, that's different than the way we were raised because that was a big city. But if you ever get a chance to see that, and you're watching, and you're going through the programs, and you see radio show, watch it. I think you will really be impressed. It's very authentic of the way the people live in.
Remember the guy that lived down there in Giddens St named Max Pollard?
The one shot the BB gun,
Shot BB gun.
shot BB gun, hit him in the eye, took his eye out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Tommy Haney.
Tom, was that his name?
No, Max Pollard.
Max Pollard. Yeah. I remember when that happened. Yeah. And let's see. The Dunns lived back on the other street.
Yeah.
New West.
Joey.
New West Dunn lived on the other street. Over there. I remember during the war, and Eva Bell Darden. You know, Jimmy Darden's grandmother. Her two sons
Yeah.
went in the war.
Right.
And of course, he was captured and he wrote that book. I read the book, Guest of the Emperor.
The other one was Pete.
Pete, and he was killed on Iwo Jima. And this one got back after the war was over. They released him. And I used to know, he used to go down to Albert's a lot. And I'd see him and we talked. And he talked about that experience. You know, they captured him very, very early in the war.
Yeah.
And he was a strapping fella, and he wasn't a Seabee, but he was doing something in the construction in the islands that the Japanese took.
Right.
And they had that Bataan death march.
Right.
He was on that. He lived through that. And he weighed, he told me when he was captured, he weighed 265. And they put him, carried him to Japan, carried his whole bunch to survive slave labor to work in Japanese factories. And he survived that. And when the war was over, he said he survived the war, of course. He weighed 76 pounds when he came out of that. And that was in this Guest of the Emperor. Jimmy wrote the book about his dad's life. through there. And Pete got killed when he was junior. Pete had a bad limp, and it really would have been drafted. And people back then had a cruelty streak.
Right.
Said, you ought to be in the war. What are you doing sitting over here?
Yeah.
So he joined the Marines,
Yeah.
and he was killed on Iwo Jima, which was a useless death for a man that should not have been there to begin with.
Yeah, Milton Woodside was often the battalion death point.
Was he? Anybody that survived that thing was a stout soul, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
And I had an Uncle Julian. I'll show you something there. Daddy had 6, 7, 8 brothers in the war,
My goodness.
World War II. 7 brothers. And they all came back alive.
Yeah, Lord.
That's the miracle.
Yeah, it is.
But Julian, we used to carry him over to Fort Bragg when he come back. He was stationed at Fort Bragg, 82nd. And he was a medic. And he trained to be a medic there. And they trained him, he'd come home and eat dinner with us on Sundays and we could get him, carry him back to Fort Bragg. Then they shifted him to Scotland to train with the Rangers as a medic. He was a medic, but he trained with the Rangers. And so he went off to war, landed in Normandy. Not at the same time the Rangers went up, climbed that.
Yeah.
I've been there, and I've seen what it was. We went to Utah Beach and spent the day in Normandy. But Julian was a medic. He came in on the second wave, and there were so many men being injured that he had to stay where he was on the beach and minister to them, and pray for them, give them extra shots, carry them on out because they were torn up. I've talked to Julian many times about it. Some guys were torn all to pieces, but yet were still alive. So what he would do, he would just give them an intense shot of morphine so they'd go ahead and die.
Yeah.
And but he went on through the war. He went right on into France with his outfit, and survived the war. But when he was on leave somewhere in France, they pushed the Germans back. He ate a can of tomato, and it's ptomaine poison. And he was laid up for about 6, 8 months in a hospital with ptomaine. He had ptomaine poison. Just came that close to killing him. He survived that and the war. When he came home, he went back to Bailey and started farming. That's what my grandfather did. Farming, had a farm, had a bank, had what they call a stable. And that's where they raised all these children was
He's talking about his daddy had 7 brothers
in World War II, and they all came back. Bernice was in the Pacific. John D. was in the Pacific. Lester was, I think, in Tunisia with the 3rd, which was Patton's outfit. And the 1 or 2 more of them never went across the state in the United States.
Did you know A.B. Butler?
Yeah. You talking about the one that was lost on the bomber?
Yeah, exactly.
And did you ever get to record anything from Dr. Nance?
No.
Wish you had.
Well, I had him over the house. Presbyterian preacher. Jim Parker was wounded, shot in the back. Tim Hubbard was there. Bill Johnson.
Yeah.
And
John Thomas Ashe.
Frank Mock.
Did you ever get
Oh,
to
yeah.
John Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to enjoy talking to him. He'd come down to the
Air
store.
Force.
Yeah, he flew with the Bomber Command over Germany. He ran on that. What was the stupid lot was so bad? They were shooting so many planes down. He went through all that and got back. I think it shot everything all to pieces, and he flew that bomber. It was all to pieces. And the British had built, as you approached the cliffs of Dover, they had built emergency landing because the guys couldn't go on to their landing zones, and he crash landed once, crash landed twice. And did you ever know the one that was what was his name? That was in Sailor. He was in charge of EMI.
Oh,
You know who I'm talking about?
yeah.
It started with B, Ballard, not Ballard.
Yeah, I see.
But you know
Yeah, I know
what I'm
who you're
talking about.
talking
He was shot down
Yeah, he was prisoner of war in Germany.
Yeah, he stayed in Germany for a right good while in prisoner of war. And he was shot down over Germany. And I talked to John Thomas. He'd come down to the store and we'd talk about the war years and Bomber Command. Well, he was in the American, what was it, 8th or the 3rd?
8th Air Force.
8th Air Force. And
Edward and Uncle Lynn too.
yeah,
At Thomas.
yeah. And Albert Khalil's brother, Richard, trained in gliders. But the war was over before they ever shipped him over. You know, they used the gliders, you know, to go in, supposedly land in those fields out there, but Germans had stuck up all these poles and had a machine gun, just about wiped those out, but some of them got down alive. But that's what Richard was. There are a lot of very, very heroic people in Columbia, Sampson County, and that I had the privilege of talking with. Do you remember when the war was over?
2 years old.
And there was all the celebration. Yeah, you remember
No, not
celebration?
really, not really.
They came by Fayetteville
Not
Street,
really.
people were blowing on.
I was 4 years old.
You remember, what was it, when you had to pull your shades with black claws over the window? Yeah, we used to do that, remember that. But, it was just a different time.
Saturday they had Farmers Day and there'd be, what, 3,000
You
people.
couldn't even get uptown.
Yeah.
And there's nobody up there now. But everything was operating at that time. All the stores, the barbershops, and the baths. Some people out in the country didn't have a bathroom, so they came to the barbershop and they had booths where they could go back and take a shower and get cleaned up for the week and get a shave, things like that.
Well, now you become a member wellness center. I'm serious.
Yeah.
People here do that. $39 a month, you take a shower every day.
Yeah. Well, and people that don't have access to
That's right.
to things, it's a good thing. And I when I first got back on my feet, I was out up at Rex. I think I was in the hospital for about 3 or 4 weeks until we got everything, stabilized. So I came out and started working out at Wilson, which was very good. It got me on my feet. And Steve Jones used to work out next to me. He was in the war,
Yeah.
but he got in. He was in bomber, but he never made the 2 flights because the war ended. He got that just at the very end of the war.
Yeah. Carla. And Carla.
And
Yeah. Tail end.
what was it? I know his name is
But
well.
I
I can't think of who it was. What he
made me think of Bobby King.
Yeah, Bobby. I saw Bobby's got a place in Ireland, and they live over there. And April and I've been over there several times. I went over with him, and just me and Bob went over in February some years ago, and he wanted me to help him. I built houses at one time. I was doing that for several years, and he wanted me to go over there and help him lay out. He had bought a place, and he was going to remodel it, and he wanted me to go over and set it up with the slate and all the stuff that we were going to do, the plumbing and things. So I went over there and stayed a couple of weeks, and we got it going. And I really fell in love with Ireland. And I took April, and then April I went on a trip one time to Ireland, all through Ireland. And it's just, have you ever been?
No, my wife's cousin lives in Dublin.
Yeah, but they live,
I've never
Ron
been.
lives in Dungarvan. A place called Dungarvan. It's down on the coast. And he lives over there in the summer a lot of times. They have friends in Europe, in England and places like that.
You took me and we went to Bobby's house, not near the hospital,
Yeah.
and I ended up trading him a Japanese rifle for some, what it was.
Confederate money. He had a bunch of Confederate money.
I don't remember. But that night, the theme was played. I was scared to death.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Was it the movie or was it on television?
It was a movie on television.
It was
Oh, a movie.
Howard Halt's The Thing, black and white.
I don't know.
Do you know who The Thing was? Is that the one that landed on the spaceship and went under the ice and they chipped him out and he melted? And it was up in it was in the Arctic.
I may not have looked at it.
Yeah, I know. First time I ever saw it, we saw it at Austin Theater. And Kid Austin, everybody, you could tell the tone of the music. And that thing was coming down. He was going to come through that door. And everybody, the music changed. Everybody ran to the back. And we used to do that. When things got too tough, everybody would get up and go to the back. And Kid Austin, I'll never forget it, the thing broke through that door. Kid jumped up, and he had this enormous cowboy hat on. And I can see it now. He pulled it all the way down as far as it would go, and just his nose was sticking out, and he was hauling buggy to the back of the. I remember that too, and he laughed about it. But
I can feel that tacky floor now.
yeah, but you wouldn't want to go barefoot.
No.
I never did one time. And you go split like that. Spit and no telling what all. And bubble gum and everything was on that floor. I don't think they ever cleaned it.
I just bought a book on the history of St. County about a month ago from Amazon for $15. And Bobby's in there. Speaker, and he's got his photograph.
Yeah. You and I went to something Bobby had over here at the shopping center. Remember that?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you remember?
Yeah.
He was talking about some historical things, the Presbyterians or something.
That's right there. Yeah.
He's written several. He's worked with the state for a long time. He and his wife both. And he was in England a long time. You know, we went to see him when he was in England. And, he's retired. He's about this big around. Yeah. Has a beard. I mean, he looks the part. He should have been. I told him last time I saw him, I said, you should have been a character actor. You know, and he does. He and his wife, and we see him occasionally. But they spend the winters in Raleigh. They have a place home in Raleigh, and then they live over in Ireland in the summertime, which is a nice city.
Where is Johnson from? He was out of Scotland.
Edinburgh.
My folks, your folks, you Johnson, that's English, of course.
Scott-Irish.
Scott-Irish. And I've got a thing on the Bissets. I looked it up on Google and I checked behind it. They started in France.
I would have guessed just the name.
Bissette.
Bissette.
B-I-S-S-E-T. And that was it. The T was added.
There was a Bissette there.
And the E. Yeah, Bissette. And I looked it up in England when I was in England. I went to that church.
Yeah.
Looked all that stuff up. And they came, what they did, they left France and went to Scotland. And actually just became Scottish.
Right.
And they fought, who was it? One of the pretenders to the throne or something. They fought against him. And they stayed there and when they came over here, they came in what is now Morehead City. And some came in South Carolina. You know, that was a criminal colony. That's what was coming in South Carolina. But they came in both those places. And they added the T and the E evidently.
What was that guy's name? Bissette here. He's dead a long time. He married Jackie Lowers.
Yeah.
Not familiar with that.
That was Besant.
Was it Bissette?
Besant. B-E-S-S-E-N-T. Besant. And most of my people came from up in Nash County around Wilson. Bailey. That's where my granddad lived. Bailey up in Bailey. In fact, I'm going to carry April up there in a couple of weeks. I ain't been up there a long time.
You sold off everything?
Huh? Yeah, I sold everything. I don't have any real estate at all except my house.
Do you still go to Las Vegas, man?
Yeah. The last time we were there, we took Catherine and a boyfriend of hers that I thought an awful lot of, but he was not really suited. I'm glad it didn't get married. But I've taken Doug and Sharon and several other people, and we'd go out and go on Sunday, come back on Wednesday, Thursday. And it's a much better time to do it in the crowd. But I never thought I would want to go to Las Vegas. And I told April, she got hold of a special deal. And I kept thinking about that thing. I said, I'm not going, I'm hoping to go. A number of criminals out there, you know what lines in. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And we saw Las Vegas grow like it's grown. And I hadn't been in years, but man.
You used to go about every year, don't you?
Yeah, we go once or twice a year. We go maybe in the spring, maybe in the fall. I was out there near Christmas at one time, and that was quite interesting. But we've been fortunate enough to travel. Like I say, we went to Normandy.
I love to do that.
Oh my gosh, it's my wife broke down just crying in that cemetery. It's a huge cemetery, and you see this pristine. It's just this pristine cemetery. It's huge though, about 10,000 people buried in that thing. But everything is looked after by the French government, and it's just as clean and pristine as a piece of art. And we'd walk up and down those roads and cross and this and that. And gosh, and there were Jewish crosses, and they were all these Christian crosses, stuff, you know, but they were all the same cross. Everything matched. And we'd look on those stones daily, and it would be so-and-so from New York City, 17 years old. And another one would be 19, 20. The oldest one that I saw, I walked across a lot of it. The oldest one I saw was 24 years old.
Oh, goodness.
And think about that. And they keep it nice. And then you go on. We went on a bus tour of all the Utah Beach and all the beaches the Americans landed on. And I had a few minutes, and they were doing something in the shops and things like that. And I got out of the bus and I walked down on Utah Beach. You know, and I don't say anybody got out in the line, because that beach is as long as from here, just the part, there's no ocean that comes in. It's far into my house. I don't say anybody got out up there alive. And I walked down on that thing, you know, I've seen all these movies on YouTube, and I've seen all these documentaries. I was by myself, and I just kind of relaxed a bit, and said, I want to see if I can feel it. You know, so I've seen, and I just looked at it all around, and just for a few microseconds, there it was. And that was from me seeing these movies and reading these books. It just became like I was there. And like, you know, the Tom Hanks movie. And you just kind of feel what it was. It's very odd feeling.
What was the distance between them?
Oh gosh! Well, when they landed at that, they landed on a high tide. Tide had changed, and they drowned. A fifth of them.
That's Utah Beach.
Utah, and the Rangers came in. They went up and climbed that thing. And the Germans had set up across there this machine gun they had, which is probably the best machine gun ever invented. It shot so fast it sounded like paper tearing. Tearing paper. And they set up crossfires on that beach, and then they had obstacles and they had mines. And the first guys that came in, it just wiped them out. Some of the guys panicked that were driving those LP boats and put them off in deep water, and they drowned. So a lot of guys died before they ever even got anywhere. But all in all, I think we lost overall for complete battle in the several days. About 10,000 Americans died. And they were 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. Steve said the guy that was his co-pilot, when they flew out of England, had lied about his age. Very smart man, passed that, and was a co-pilot on his plane right at the end of the war. He was down on the books, he's 22 years old,
Oh,
17. But you could get away
Yeah.
with things. He had his brother sign for him. The guy, Steve, was on up, he was really age. Did you ever go to London to the Imperial War Museum?
yeah.
Wasn't that interesting?
Yeah.
That's a day well spent, isn't it?
Yeah, so,
And I went out to some of the, we took a tour with an RAF pilot that was running tours on his own. And it was about 10 people. And we went out to several of the old bomber command places that they flew the bombers out of out in the country. And he took us to those. And we went to the Imperial War Museum. We just spent a day, just doing just that. And we went to underground where Churchill and all the headquarters come there. And it was very interesting. Now, can you think of anything that we've left out?
Not much.
How about you, Lynn? I know that,
I tell you this, I do remember this. Hurricane Hazel came.
yeah,
We had the antenna on top of the house.
yeah,
They didn't know doo-doo squat about hurricanes,
no,
And
I didn't know what
I
it
was
was.
standing at the back door and
Yeah,
on the trees over there. Then it calmed down all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Daddy said, "This is right around here." Damn it, man. Then the second half of it, he wiped out.
well, I just about wiped out around there.
Tell you what, it was a vicious storm. And then I got the property line straight down at right from me.
No, Tammy Hubbard went down there. See, when he got down there, looking for his house and lot, both were gone. It was right on the water. Said, I couldn't find a house or a lot. But we went over and got in Presbyterian Church.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, we went over, they opened up the church and go in.
Yeah.
And we spent the day in that back part, as you
Yeah.
come down Fayetteville St, back on the back.
Yeah.
Spent the day there to ride out the storm.
What's the name of the tree that you got the little ball, cherry ball, chainy ball?
Cannonball tree.
The hurricanes have just got wiped all those trees.
Oh,
It's shallow rooted.
Oh, it took a lot of trees down. And I don't know if you went out to farm with us, and there were whole trees down in the swamp just pulled up by the roots. And the roots were up on top of the ground, and the tree went that way, and the end of the thing was huge,
Yeah.
where it just jerked right up out of the ground. We never had anything like that.
No,
I never envisioned anything like that.
absolutely. I remember they had channel 5 and channel 6, which was WECT.
Yeah,
But they didn't have the weather forecast.
yeah.
And by the way, our house sold in 1974 for $19,000. It's sitting over in the cemetery.
I know where that is.
And Jimmy
It's
Butler.
near, it's near that Holiness church, a
That's
big
right.
church over
That's
there.
right.
It's behind it.
That's right.
Yeah. I know, I asked somebody where it was. I knew you didn't tear it, it wasn't torn down. And of course, our house was not torn down.
Right.
And there's one next to it was not torn. You remember Mr. Butler and Roy Edmond? He was a carpenter. He lived next to us. C.G. Simpson lived there. Next to them was J.R. Reynolds and Sally Gay
I forgot that.
when they were real young. And next to them were the Lees. They lived in a house Mother owned. They rented it.
Oh, yeah.
The Lees, they were,
Right behind directly behind our house. Is that right?
no, it was on down toward the corner. Johnny Marcy lived on the corner.
Oh, yeah.
This is on Federal,
Yeah.
on Federal Street. And they had an enormous wreck down there one night, and I was very young. I know we walked down there, and a lot of people that were in the wreck, there's no hospital, were in the Lee's house, and they were wrapped up with things they made out of sheets. And you could see the blood and all that stuff, and the doctor was administering these people who were in that terrible wreck down there where you go around that curve. So people that come in from Fayetteville, and they were running wide open, and they had to hit that fence and all that was up there. I think there was one killed, 2 or 3 were injured.
You remember Dempsey Daughtry?
Yeah,
Anybody grow up?
yeah.
Am I wrong? Didn't they have a photograph of him dead lying down on the road in something in the town?
I don't know. I'm not.
I've never seen anything like that. I remember all these years.
Yeah,
About 3 or 4 of them got killed.
yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, there were things that happened to people, you know, just like they do now. And people are not too much different than they were then. They just have more things, you know, better life. Most people. There were a lot of poor people when we were living.
Oh, yeah.
There were a lot of tenant farmers and people like that, and blacks, poor blacks. There were a lot of those.
We had no air conditioning.
We didn't either. No, we didn't.
And I remember sitting in a vinyl chair.
Yeah,
I had pleurisy. And I like it had died.
yeah.
I mean, not from pleurisy, but from the heat.
And from the heat. We had a tin roof, you know, on that 2-story. And I opened all the windows upstairs. I lived upstairs when I was coming home. And it would rain and storm, and that was the most delightful sound. Just when that rain was coming, and then you get that breeze, have a window over here and a window like that, you know, and blow through. No air conditioning. And now we couldn't live a week without it. I don't imagine.
His mother had a 1949 Ford,
Yeah,
and it was beautiful. I remember straight stick sitting under the port,
yeah.
whatever, and it was just gorgeous. I wish I had that thing. I loved it.
She wouldn't let us ride in it without the newspapers on the floor.
What newspapers said.
She had it about a long time, and had 16,000 miles.
And it never went over. It never went over 50 miles an hour. No, even down a hill. I know I'd sit in there and ride with her sometime. I thought to myself, will we ever get there? She used to do her banking in Warsaw. Yeah, and she didn't want anybody in Clinton to know her business. And so I'd ride with her over there, and it was as long as driving from here to Raleigh. But we drive that Ford.
One on.
What was her maiden name? I've never thought.
Martha Sanders.
Sanders.
Timothy Fletcher
She had
Sanders
I remember
was there.
Okay, I remember Tim.
I remember your back door discussion like that.
That was her brother,
Yeah.
I know, I know.
and her dad was a pharmacist. Had a drugstore right there next to Doug Roy. It was a furniture store. What was Doug Roy? And his pharmacy was down next to it, and I've got some pictures at home of him in the pharmacy. Tim, when he was young, and mother, she was. This was about 1912, 13, 14, right in there, and I've got a lot of people I've talked to that lived in that period, and my grandmother. And I remember her. We had her. He died in 38 before I was born. Her dad. And we took her mother because she was old when I was growing up during the war. She was real old. And she lived with us
I didn't
until
remember
she
that.
died.
I don't remember that either.
Yeah,
I
she
didn't
lived with
remember
us
that.
until she died. And that was way back. And she lived a couple of years. But she lived, there with us. Daddy was in Bailey.
Right. And
He came
how did
home.
they meet?
Huh?
How did your daddy, if he lived in Bailey?
Mother was teaching in Middlesex.
Okay, I never knew she was a school teacher.
Yeah,
That's
she
first time.
taught in Sailorburg. She and Naomi Roy, and Butler's wife, Doug's sister, taught. Sim Butler, mother taught. They taught over there in Sailorburg, Roseburg, in that area. Yeah, she was a teacher for a long
I did
time.
not know that.
Yeah, and April was a teacher until we got married, and she became allergic. Chalk dust. So that finished that.
Chalk
I
dust.
said chalk dust. She didn't like teaching at all, I don't think. And she taught at Emory, and for a while. And I met April when I was 5 years old, and I fell in love with her at that time, and it never left me, although we got apart.
I got to get my hanky out now.
No, we got apart, and I did not see her again. I was in town, and Mother said, Christine has died. Mother She died. She was real young. She had heart valve problems from the fever. And they couldn't correct it, and she died. And I said, I'll take you to the funeral. And Daddy was in, I think he was probably in Bailey. And anyway, I took her. And I saw her, I came up to the cemetery after the service. I came up and I saw the most beautiful girl in the world. It was April.
Oh,
And she was an absolute beauty. I said, my God. I mean, I was struck. It was like a bolt of lightning. And I said, I got back home. I said, Mother, I said, I just saw April. I haven't seen her in 15, 20 years. I said, you reckon it would be, I want to do something. She looked so sad. And she was, I mean, her mother. And I said, you reckon it would be all right if I sent her a dozen roses? You know. And I did. And she called me and thanked me for the roses. And I said, gosh, I said, I haven't seen you. I said, you're one beautiful lady. I said, you probably don't have anything to do with me. She says, well, take a chance. So I said, will you go out? Would you go out? Let's go down to, do you remember when West ran the restaurant down at, near Kingsville?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's got
Joe West, was it Joe?
Yeah. Yeah, died of cancer.
Yeah. And she said, yes, I'll be glad. He says, I would enjoy doing that. Well, you know, at that time I was farming, and I had an old Chevrolet. Back window was broken out. Fertilizer bags were in the boot.
No, you done Bissette than me.
And I'd haul the fertilizer out to the fields in that thing. And it was just all it would bring about $3 if you sold it. And I got to think about that thing. I said, God knows I don't have anything to drive to go back to see her. I said, what can I do? And I had saved some money. I used to put money in boxes and different things. I'd save up. That's the only way I really could save at that time. And I had $2,300 saved. I said, I'm going down to the Ford place and see what Mustangs are selling for. Ford, Mustang. And I'll show you something in a minute when we get through this filming. And I saw Tommy. You, of course, know Tommy. And I said, Tommy, I got a date tonight with April Royal. I said, she's not having anything to do with me. I go rolling up down this car. And I drove it down there. Old Chevrolet. And he said, I wouldn't even jump that thing. I said, so I just park aside the road and leave. And I said, well, can we get together on the car? He said, come on, I'll show you something. And I said, how much will you allow me on the car? And the Mustang was selling for $2,500. I had $2,275 in cash and a cigar box. And he said, come on in here and see what we can do. I said, Tommy, that's all I've got. Well, I had some more at home, but I didn't. He says, I am not the type of person that wants to stand in the way of love. I'll trade with you. So I gave him a cigar box and $2,275. And I said, I got to have his car right now because I'm going out tonight. And that's how the whole story.
Well, that's a great story.
We've been married for 48 years. And I had a new car. I had a new Mustang to drive.
And you still have it?
No, I don't have it now. I sold it to Reeves, the guy that was living over here in the Ark. You know, the James Jones old house?
Yeah.
And he died. I don't know what happened to the car, but he restored it completely. And but that's how April and I got together. And I took her to Country Squire. It was one big room. And that was all there was to it.
You were showing off for sure.
Yeah. And I spent a total with the tip. We got the beautiful steaks, all the trimmings, everything, dessert, everything, including tip, $9. And that's about all I had. I think I had about $12, $13.
Gasoline's probably about
25 cents.
25 cents a gallon.
25 cents a gallon. So, and when I was at Guilford, I bought a guy by the name of Bob Bain had bought an old Chrysler touring car. You know, it was long as from here to the back door. Great big black thing with big white tires. And I said, how much would you take for that thing? I need something to drive up here. And you know, at that time we could drive and park, you know. He said, I'll take $35 for it. Well, I bought it, and I found out after I bought it, it taught me a valuable lesson. It had a big crack in the motor. So I bought it. And I used to fill it up with aluminum putty and let it harden. And I could drive that thing about 200 miles before it blew out. And that's what I drove around Guilford, and we filled it up. We could get 10 people in that car. To go into Greensboro, to go down to Ham, or to go out and eat, things like that. And it blew up on me up near Sanford, and I had to call Dad. And he and another cut guy came and got it. And I sold it to a guy named
Robert Nethercutt.
Robert Nethercutt's dad. And I sold it to a guy when I got it home, and then I took the Ford and drove that.
Those are good stories.
It is. It's something that I remember. I know you've got a bunch of stories that you're holding back on. But I did want to show you a couple of things that I was in a big hurry. Will you get that Walmart bag for me, son?
Out your car?
Yeah. What did we do with it?
You bring it in?
Well, I think we brought it in. But I didn't have anything. If you could have come over to the house, I could open up the archive.
I think I did bring it in.
Yeah, I think we did. It was a Walmart bag, blue.
What did you have at the house?
Oh,
in the car.
everything in the world.
That you had built or done?
No, I've got things that kids have built, things they've done for me, and things on books and things and pictures. There's a lot of pictures that go back into the 1800s. But I threw some things in. I said I'm going to show them to Dale and Lynn. And it's not anything impressive. But I mean, there's some things I wanted you to see. And I did want to share you when I met April the first time. At a birthday party. She was
That
3.
is special.
She was 3 and I was 5, and we both have our arms up, keeping the sun off. And
That
so
is special.
Take a close look at it. That's when I first fell in love with April.
Well, oh yes,
She's the girl there with her hand up as
Yeah,
April.
right. And that's you?
And that's me. Yeah.
Okay.
And,
And that says April's 3rd birthday?
yeah.
Oh, that's
Show that to Dave.
Yeah, that's special.
But I said, well, I'm going to, here is when I dated April and we got married. This one I wanted to show you, for sure. I'm not going to keep it much longer.
No, that's special there. I like that.
But if that guy wasn't a killer at that time, we were just getting married, and that was the guy that dated April and got, see the Mustangs?
Well, I would characterize him as a stud.
He was a stud.
A
That
showboat stud.
that was so far
That
long
is
ago.
classy. That's
You want to
classy.
see the picture?
Yeah,
You
that's
see
good.
the picture? That's me. Right there.
Now, where's that?
I never didn't look like you.
That's me.
You must have surgery back there.
I would say that's a young James Dean.
I'll tell you what, that was without a doubt. That's when I bought that car to date April, and we married. That's about a year after that, all that happened.
That's the stud picture.
And this is exactly before we got married. This is a picture that Gene Carr, do you remember Gene?
Oh, yeah.
Jeannie Faye, we were double dating, and we went down to Wilmington to Greenfield Lake. You know where that
I
is.
know where that is.
And Gene took this picture, And believe me, it's the best I've ever looked in my life. But that was just before we got married.
That's a great picture.
Isn't that a good picture?
That is a superb.
And Faith,
I don't remember you looking like that.
I think there's a lot of Amway.
I don't remember it either. I know.
I would say she didn't deserve you, but
Well, I think I was awfully fortunate.
It's a great
We've been married 48 years, and so I'm really proud. Can you believe that's me in April?
I can't believe it's you.
Let's see what else I've got.
wonderful picture.
You like to see that, huh?
April loved me for this. He comes over here to discuss the history of Sampson County.
I wanted to bring you something. And I've got something else I want to show you from the war years. Would you be interested?
Oh, absolutely.
When you get down to the bottom of where the money is, I'll say
There's very little. This is my son's wife. She's always taking the picture and never in the picture. So this is Gina DeAngelis. This is Lou. Lou and Dick played football.
Right.
This is Lou's daughter.
Okay.
Married my son. She was the surgical nurse.
Oh, she's a good-looking lady. She should be in the movies.
That's what I told her.
Yeah, she's a good-looking lady.
And she's prettier than that picture.
Oh, she's absolutely gorgeous.
That's Doug's wife.
he did good.
He did good.
Mary Bowden.
That's what I told her. And there, that's my son's wife. And this is my grandson's, and that old man you see sitting there is me. So there's no question.
We'll cut that part out.
Cut that part out.
They're a good-looking bunch of kids. One of them's breaking on the job now.
Yeah, the little one, the young one, is the one that looks after me. And he looks after his granddad.
Oh, good-looking family.
And let's see, let me get down. And the first trip we ever took was to Spain with the shrine. Doug didn't want to go, so we went in his place. And that was taken in Rome. This was taken in Rome.
Are you dressed in Caesar's outfit?
No, we were kind of short there.
Good. Look, down there in the cellar.
Down
What
in
surprised me
the,
about Rome,
what?
how widespread they
Spread out.
built it.
Good
Yeah.
looking.
The Coliseum was amazing.
Oh, yeah, I
It
wouldn't
was like Giddens St.
It did. It was fantastic. Fantastic. I'd love to have seen it when it was brand new. I would really have loved to have
Edward,
done
is
it.
that you or a model?
That's me. That's somebody I hired to stand in. And you're interested in World War II.
Oh, yeah.
Are you interested in the Air Force? Airport?
Yeah, all things about it.
Well, I found this, and I want to give this to you because I think you might enjoy having it. And I don't need it. I've got plenty of books on it. But this gives the dogfight and all the men that fought in the war, and the Germans, Americans, or whatever. And that's a gift from me to you.
Oh, thank you.
And here is a little bit of wartime history. I hope I'm not boring you.
No, absolutely
With
not.
all of this. But
We've
here
listened to
is,
you all our lives.
huh?
We've listened to you all our lives.
Well, I hope it's not over yet. But here is Uncle Julian. He gave me this when he got back from the war. He was the Ranger medic on Normandy. There is his band that he wore on his uniform.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sure that's blood on there.
Oh, yes.
Take a look there.
It has a number on the back.
Yeah. And he was a medic at Normandy, in the landing.
He had plenty of business that day.
Oh, he was busy, very busy. And I happened to find that in a drawer last week, and I said, well, I'm going to carry it. And this is something that not many people knew we had in those days. This is a war bond thrift card that you saved up money during the war, quarter at a time, and I never did get these two in it. But anyway, that's from World War II. That was a war bond that you could buy.
75 cents.
And
And all the
this,
little sayings they got in here.
yeah, yeah. And this was World War II ration book. Even I, as a baby, had a ration book because they issued them to all Americans. And this was in pretty bad shape. Landis found this over there in the glamour shop. But this was Martha Sanders' Bissette. And there is a ration book.
Yeah.
Great. And here's one. Here's the ration book for Edward Bissette. And I was 2.5 years old, and the government issued me a ration book. Of course, Mother and Daddy used it.
Go
to
get you some
tires, tires, food, anything we needed was rationed during the war. You have to have these stamps. And you run out of stamps, that was it.
That signature, Ruth Nestor, wasn't she my 4th grade
I think
grammar
so.
school
I think
teacher?
so, of course, she was a young woman.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Ruth Nestor. But,
Edward, let me ask you, I got a number now.
all right.
Maybe you or your daddy told me this, that your daddy went to Trinity College.
Dude played football there at Trinity. It was Trinity.
Trinity, yeah.
And I have his helmet, football helmet.
No, was it leather?
It was leather cardboard.
Leather
Well,
card.
when he went off to
If I
college,
can
didn't his daddy say, son, we'll give you this Bible, and I want you to read page 1 through all of it?
Did he tell you that?
Yeah.
Well, what he did, he was quite a handsome fellow.
Right.
And he had all of his hair then. And he went up there with his brother Bill. And Daddy flunked out after about the first year, so he had to come home to help his daddy in the farming business. And Bill stayed and got his dental degree. And Bill played, I think, but it was Trinity.
But my point was, didn't his father tell him, son, I want you to read this Bible, start page 1 and read through it? And he got back home, and his daddy opened the Bible, and it was like $10 bill on the first page.
Caught red-handed, didn't read it.
It's not reading.
That's a good story.
I never heard that. That's a good story. Daddy probably told you that. I would imagine.
I know it was him,
Yeah.
it was about him, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, how much did your daddy weigh when he played at Duke football? You have a
He was never heavy. I would say that was Trinity, I think.
Trinity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then.
Trinity.
And I have looked everywhere. When we moved from the other house over to this one, I had it in a cardboard box. It's flat. It's mashed flat.
Yeah.
It's just as flat as you can mash a helmet. And if you look at it real close, it's leather covered cardboard.
What position?
Leather
did he
covered.
play?
Cardboard.
Yeah.
You know what position was he?
Bill said they played quarterback,
Really?
so I don't know. He was not heavy. Daddy would weigh maybe 140
Yeah.
at that
Well, that's
time.
not unusual in that time
No,
frame.
he would weigh that. Bill might have been a little heavy.
Yeah.
Looks like.
That's
Daddy
I
was a
didn't-
woman. He was the woman's man.
Yeah.
That's all he did when he was at Duke. Just
Those co-heads.
co-ed up and down everywhere. And he didn't last very long. He had to go back home and go to work. But oh, you photographed me.
Mm-hmm.
Even the baby had to have a ration book
Man.
during the war.
A lot of people made money during the war, they did.
Oh, there's black market. I mean, it's just like
Foreclosures.
people, yeah, and the black market too that was out. And that's my beautiful daughter. And she's married here, got married. And of course, it didn't last about a couple of years. But anyway, I want to bring that
Yeah.
to show you, and that's me with her at that time.
She is beautiful.
And
Absolutely
Catherine
gorgeous.
Sanders Bissette.
She is gorgeous.
And she was
Never seen a
she
thrift.
still is pretty, but of course she's 41 or 42. My son is about 45, 46.
Are they the ones in Raleigh? They ones put
Yeah, yeah.
I've never seen a thrift car.
That is a card that you used to. In other words, everything was rationed,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd get a ration book, and you pull off the pieces when you buy gas, or you buy tires. Tires were very scarce, and people would drive them till they were slick,
Mm-hmm.
because it was hard to get. But that's about my show and tell.
Very well.
You made an A, you made an A.
I should throw that in to show, and I wanted to bring in that book because that has really got some good stuff in it.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Oh, you're more than welcome. I'm just glad. I think you'll appreciate it. See what she's got to do. I'm gonna load up, and let me tell you, this has been a great pleasure.
It was all our pleasure.
And I'm going to
Thank you
put
for
it back.
thinking about bringing all the.
Well, I did it in a spur of the moment. Will you get this out to the car?
Sure, absolutely.
Got to go on.
Charge him to get it there.
Expect tips when I get
You can go out in the backyard, take some of that money.
Did I leave anything else?
I don't think so.
I
Oh,
think,
your sweater's right here.
huh?
Sweater's right here.
Sweater's fine. I'll bring that. If you'll put,
Have them with that, have them up there, and then have them.
in here.
I got it.
And this rubber head. Just put it back down in the very back. Open that back. Okay, I got it. Thank you.
We're charging for the lift, sir.
Oh, well, my check will be in the mail.
I'd rather cash.
Right there.
Cash.
I'll return the bottles money.
But I've had a lot of fun.
It was
I've enjoyed not
wonderful.
only seeing all three of you,
Down memory lane was
but I've
wonderful.
enjoyed the memory lane. Let me put this in.
Man.
Let me put this right in here.
You gotta do better than
And
that.
if you ever build any models, you've got colors to go by.
There you go.
And look after this cute little girl over here.
Can you blow Mr. Bissett a kiss?
Oh, you are?
Can you blow him?
Let me blow you a kiss. Oh, she don't want to kiss an old man. My goodness.
Can you blow him a kiss then?
Let me kiss him. Ah, you go.
Here, I'll follow you.
Let's see, have I gotten everything?
Yep, I got
It's
the
good,
bag.
it's good to see you.
Give my best wishes
And
for
my
your ride.
I will. Dale, take care of yourself. If you need me, call me.
I'll do it. Appreciate
As soon
it.
as you get out the door, we're gonna start the party.
Oh, well, that'd be good. At least I'll be out of the way. Man, so good to see you.
Take care of
And
yourself.
your son there, I haven't seen him in so long. Good luck to you, son.
Get in front of you, open that door. Charlotte, you gonna help me?
I'll let you carry it.
You gonna help us?
Go ahead.
You got everything, Chad?
Yes, sir.
It's raining.
Oh, it is.
Let's see, I'll pull over here.
Oh, no, your window's down too.
Well, I'm about par for the course. Can you drive? You can drive.
Yeah, I'll pull up here. Get a towel, I'll wipe up.
Charlotte, you gonna get wet.
Watch her.
Carry soap so you can take your bath.
She sees water, she goes running for her.
Yeah, what year approximately your mom and dad passed away?
They were